Alpha Sessions with Emma Joyce.
I'm Emma, this is the Alpha Sessions, and I'm here with our regular guest, I would say now. Probably this is the third time you've been on the show, I think.
Yeah, become like part of the furniture.
This is Kerry Goodhind. How are you doing? You all right?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah,
Happy New Year to you.
good. Happy New Year. The last time I think we were in the studio was when you were with your full band, and we had everyone live in the studio. And I tell people about this all the time when they say, "Oh, can we fit?" Because we fitted a keyboard, you,
a bass player,
drums, and I remember I was like squished up across the radiator in the corner.
We had the whole shebang going on. Good job you're only little, Emma.
So you guys were proof that we can fit a whole full band in the studio, which is really great, and it was so much fun to hear as well. I love chatting to you at the best times, and I'm particularly excited about your brand new single, which is called Just a Memory. And by the way, it's a total earworm. I was humming it last week for like 2 or 3 days.
Were you walking around going, just a memory?
Yeah, basically, except when you sing it, it sounds way better than when I do. Talk us through the track. What does it mean to you?
So the track is written loosely, obviously. I mean, it's a very fine line when you're an artist anyway. So everything, well, in my experience, for authentic artists, and authenticity is really what artists go on, or artists that are doing this for the love of it. It's always autobiographical to a point. So this song is about breakups, makeups, breakups again, and really, really sort of heavily focuses on infidelity. So it's a massive thing in relationships. Unfortunately, people get cheated on all the time, and I think sometimes those feelings are not really expressed in their most rawest or purest form. And that's really what this song is about. And in terms of the process, I think it was a very easy process to do for me, because obviously it's very close to my heart as well, without sort of going into details. And I think, sometimes the strongest feelings that you have, whether they're elation, whether they're sadness or anger, or they really do bring out the best in terms of writing. And it's like a potion of pain and process, really, which and that's what this song really kind of envelopes all in one.
When you go through an experience like that and you put pen to paper, do you have the intention of creating a song, or does it just start off as an outlet to release your feelings in that way?
For me, it's always an intention to create a song, because I'm a musician first and foremost. Usually the idea of the song will come first, but my process gets split then. It's not lyrics first, it's chords first. So the chords for me have to be emotive enough to get the words on top that also connects with the chords. So it really is kind of like a 3-step process. It's very rare that I will write a song, the chords 2 words. Very, very rare. I'm more emotive the other way around. So the chord process, the melodic harmony first.
So do the chords act almost like a trigger to the lyrics?
Yeah, because I think if you're kind of music first, and I'm not, the melody in the singing and stuff is very important, but if the bass line and the chord structure is strong and it's emotive and it's catchy, there's the earworm bit as well as the the lyrics.
Yeah.
Then that's a key recipe for a good song. And a good song, what do we define as a good song? It's one that can be played acoustically, how you wrote it on the piano, or it can be played with massive band, or it can have an R&B beat put to it, or it can be done in a classical way. So it's a song that's got versatility within how it's written.
Also, I wanted to chat to you about the band as part of the recording process for the song. Obviously you brought the band into the studio last time.
I did.
Is it the same band? Have we added bits to it?
So actually the recording itself, most of the instruments have been done digitally this time, just because of COVID, just because of everything that's been going on. Yeah. I'm playing a lot of them and my producer's playing a lot of them as well. And we work together in that way, and all the BVs and obviously all the main melody in that is myself. It's layers and layers and hours of just, let me tell you folks, it's not glamorous. It really is like a conveyor belt of go again, get this, do that, do this. So that's that. But there is a band in tow for things that we've got going on this year. Funny enough, I've got a rehearsal today with the band, first one after Christmas, so that'll be interesting. So where we all are. But no, everything, I think over the last 23 months or so, I've tried to just focus on writing. There are another 5 songs in the pipeline to be released. They're all done, they're all recorded, they're all produced. It's just now doing the drip feed of getting them out there. So there has been a planning process. I haven't just sat back on my laurels and
I'm not saying you have.
No, but people say, what have you been doing in this lockdown? Like, well, actually, I'm still recording, I'm still writing, I'm still as hard as it's been, I'm still trying to do the things that you can do. And it's been sucked down for the music industry and for people in it, everyone from producers to writers to performers to session musicians. It's been a nightmare. So
much frustration. I think people have had to think quite outside the box in terms of how they do things, which takes me to my next question, which is, to promote Just a Memory, have you had to do anything different because of the pandemic? Obviously no live shows.
Nightmare, no live shows. So I work with a social media girl who's really good. She's actively updating my website, www.kerrygoodhind.com. That all looks really, really good. Nice little plug there. If you get in contact with me direct, I can give you a password to a page which has got a slightly different version to the song as well, which is, it's still exactly the same, it's just a little bit more explicit. So I don't tend to write explicit songs, but I felt like this one needed the artistry in it to come out, and so that's that. But not really. We're just online promotions, radio stations online, like yourselves as well. I know you do a lot of active face-to-face stuff, but there are a lot around America and Australia, and there's a couple in France and sort of in Germany and that play my stuff. So it's gone out to those guys too, and really just the social media side of it. I mean, it's a full-time job, so as and when you can promote it. But not unfortunately being able to gig it until hopefully later in the year.
What's it like having it out in other countries outside the UK?
Yeah, it's interesting because people contact you on Instagram and stuff and go, hi, we're playing a song tonight at 3:00 in the morning. Will you be listening? And you're like, hang on, I've just worked out the time difference. And no, I'll be well asleep by then. I can try, but it won't happen. It's good to know that it's going out and I think if you're true to what you do and you love what you do, because let's face it, folks, there's no money in this unless you hit the big time. You've got to have a love for it. It's your work. It's watching it go from a very small kind of core to this massive, projection of a creation that you've got in your mind. And that really for any artist should be in my opinion, that's the reward. And then when it gets played, and that you're connecting with somebody, anybody, they get a feeling from it, or it helps them get through their day, or it totally gets how they feel inside, but they just can't get it out in words, and so they'd rather listen to the music. It's cathartic. You've done your job. Done your job.
Absolutely. Do you find that fans in other countries have different responses to the track?
Yeah, I get, so from Germany I get a lot of love the bass line. I get a lot of that. So I know they're well into their trance and their dancing, which is so great. I mean, I'm quarter German anyway, so I totally get that. I like dance and trance too. But real sort of, loving the catch of the beat and that kind of thing. No, generally I think people, love the melody, love the hauntingness of the vocals. I think that's probably one of the trademark things of my sort of tracks, are that it always has to have that lovely finessey, beautiful kind of almost classical feel to it somewhere in there. Those BVs do come in because that's just that's me, that's how I write, that's just, part of what I do. So it's varied, that is for sure.
Does the novelty of being on the radio ever get old?
No, I love being on the radio. I love talking to my apps. Without you guys, without people like you and Alan, couldn't do it. Honestly, it's amazing. And the time and effort, this is the other thing, people don't realise the people that you have kind of, supporting you in that. And it's really important. It's not just the artist. I mean, I could sit here and write music all day and record it, but without people that are, genuinely behind you and support you, you couldn't do it. It's a team effort, So, no, I love it.
So, with the new track, your sound has totally developed since the last album, and I just wanted to know, the 5 tracks that you have lined up, are they kind of more of the same new sound, or are they a little bit different? What's it?
Yeah, so they are the new sound. So if we go back to people that follow me, or who know that we go back to kind of like The Dawn, which is like, that was released March 2020, when all this chaotic lifestyle we've all leading at the moment kicked off. But from that point onwards, really, the tracks they're all different. I think that's the one thing. I mean, I've gone through the years and people said to me, your tracks are very different, they're very different. And I've seen that as a negative, but actually now I just see that as a positive, because, different tracks, different styles, that's more exposure, different people are going to connect. It also shows your versatility and how you write. Yeah. And I could never write anything that didn't mean anything to me at the time. So if that's what's come out, that's what's there, if that makes sense. Yeah. And so, yes, they are kind of all embossed in that trademark kind of sound. Some are bigger than others. Some are happy, some are not so happy. Some are more love songs, some are more breakup songs, some are about life, some are about, there's a new song coming out called Darkest Hour, and that's about, being in your darkest hour, whatever that may be. It could be that you have lost someone close to you, it could be broken up from a relationship, it could be you've lost a job, it could be anything. So that's quite a nice, uplifting song about, you're never on your own, there's always people around you, and life moves on, nothing ever stands still.
Did you go into the studio and say, right, I want to change my sound now? Or did it kind of happen organically?
Organically, always organically. And the producer I work with is brilliant. He's a musician too. So cool. I think there is a massive difference from my experience. I can only go from what I know, but producers I've worked with over time who are not necessarily musicians or in tune with the melodic side of how a musician feels and writes, it can come out quite how you want it in a box. So it's got to sound pop. This is how it's going to sound. Like this, it needs to be 3 minutes long. It's got to be this. That's kind of how you go. When you're working with a musician who's also a producer, and they understand the artist and the feeling of the song and what they're after. I'm quite good at, sort of going, oh, I want this and I want this, and it's slow down. It gets an idea. I think when they're singing from the same hymn sheet as you, it's so much easier, and the sound just develops organically. You both sit there and go, let's add that in, or that would sound really good there, or let's put a layer of thirds or fifths or whatever it is we're doing there in the DVs. So it's a nice process when you're working with somebody who gets it.
With all the songs coming out soon, or the tracks coming out soon, is there another EP coming?
There will be towards the end of the year. So we've got, like I said, we've got a couple of hopefully live festivals in the summer, which are going to be really good. And off the back of that, yes, there should be an EP with. I'm going with 5 songs this time, so there will be. Yeah, which will be really good. Just need to get that side of it kind of going and decide. Problem is, with 23 months, you've got a lot of time to write a lot. So then you've got to whittle it down. You go the other way then. It's like, we're going to put this on there, or we're going to put that on there, or you've got too much choice. I think because I go along the lines of everything needs to be slightly a bit of a boomerang on there. So, bit of a curveball. So they'll listen to one and go, oh, well, the next one will probably be similar. And then they listen to it and go, oh, no, that's completely different. So that's kind of how I've done it. Within the same style-ish, but they're all different.
So good. I can't wait to hear that. It's going to be great. We've touched on it a couple of times. Your huge gig coming up in the summer. Like massive gig. I saw that and I was like, sorry, what? So you're going to be doing it with a band?
Yes, so with the band, we are going to Loudfest, which is it's a lovely festival. Yeah. I was told the other day it's more like 10,000 rather than 5,000 people. So we're really looking forward to that. Yeah. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it goes ahead. Yeah. And we've got a really good slot. We're on at, I think it's 6:20 in the evening, which is when the sun's just going down. That's the slot that we really wanted, before all the mayhem and badness kicks in. And it's a lovely one because people can camp, so they can camp all weekend if they want to, but there's from what I was reading, 12 hours of solid live music, which is for any musician or any intent listener, that's heaven for them, which is great. And yes, we will be doing 5 songs, probably the new 5 songs that are going to be on the EP. And a song that we've written with the band actually, which is a real country grassroots blues song, which is really good. Got shakers and maracas and all sorts of things in it. So
Nice.
You got to throw something in for a festival, haven't you? Especially if the sun's out.
So with the new tracks, or with the tracks generally, you bring the tracks to the band and then they work themselves in?
Yeah, so the band all get, I write all the tracks, all the music, everything. They are, I don't like to call them this, but it's like Kerry Goodhind and band. They're a session band, but I don't treat them like that. They're like my band. So we all, sit and do. So today is like 5 hours, for example. We'll be going through all the tracks, what stems we're going to DI through the board, because we've decided that for this particular festival, we'd like to do 3 songs as they are radio edits. So they'll go through the board, big sounds, all the BVs and everything. And then 2 we're going to strip right back. So one will just be vocal keys, and then the other one will just be live. So we're trying to show a bit of versatility in what we're doing without detracting from the tracks, really.
So exciting. When's the festival?
It's I knew he was going to ask me that, Emma. Hang on. I think it's the 9th of July.
Okay.
Just give me 1 second. I'm almost positive. Yeah, it's the 9th of July, and we're on the Keith Bennett stage at 6:20, and it's Loud Fest. So if you're listening, folks, grab your tickets. They do get sold out, apparently. I was like, really? They're like, yeah, by probably mid-March they'll all be gone. I was like, wow, okay. So it seems to be a pretty good one. They've got the Rick Parfitt Junior Band there, and they've got Toya Wilcox and other 80s, some 90s stars there as well, which go on the main stage in the evening. So it's going to be a good all-round solid performance, I think, hopefully.
Sounds like your 2022 is going to be very, very busy.
It's extremely busy already. I like busy, Emma. Emma, busy's good.
Yeah, it's true. Off the back of the theme of New Year, then, what are your New Year's musical resolutions?
Okay, so my New Year's is to work with as many artists as I can. Yeah. Okay, so moving forward, do some collabs. Really going to spend some good quality time with the band, and maybe have some spin-off projects from there as well. Yeah. Just put all my energy into writing and developing. Obviously, I'm still tutoring. That's my main, reward really, is that I get to do something I love pretty much every day, giving back knowledge and teaching kids and adults how to play and sing, which is a wonderful thing to be able to do. And yeah, just music really. That's what else do. When you're born to do music, that's what you must do.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, if people want tickets or people want to find out what you've been up to, where your latest music is, etc., where can they go? What can they do?
Yeah, so they can look at the website, which has just been updated by my amazing social media and just web hosting lady. So it's www.kerrygoodhind.com. You can also find me on Insta at Kerry Goodhind, on Facebook at Kerry Goodhind Music, and Twitter I think is at Kerry Goodhind Music as well. If you just type in my name, it will come up anywhere, but you can see me pretty much all over there. YouTube in there, the new videos up there, so just the memory videos up there. It's pretty cool. And yeah, and if you want to get in touch, please do.
Just when I thought it was all done, you took a stake and drove it through my heart. But she doesn't know the reasons we broke, the games that you played with me from the very start. And now I see through the lies you promised to forever end a day. 'Cause every hand that you had on me, it's like a light now I can see that your pain is a prophecy. to the moon.